Morning. It's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today is Tuesday, 24th June of 2025. The title of today's topic is History Repeats Itself. So, what am I talking about when I say history repeats itself? Yesterday, for instance, we saw that Iran bombed US base in Qatar and there were no casualties. Iran had informed Qatar that they're going to bomb that US Air Force base. US was also informed. So it was what I would call, just a farce. Now, have we seen this kind of thing before? Yes. People forget about it that we have seen this kind of a thing before. So if you just go back, Karl Marx said, history repeats itself, first as a tragedy, second as a farce. So the first time it happened was in 2025 January when Trump was about to leave office. At that point of time, through a drone attack, the US forces killed a senior Iranian National Guard functionary called, his name was Soleimani. So Soleimani was killed in that blast. So Iran had to take revenge. They vowed revenge. But you see, if Iran starts fighting with US, surely Iran will lose. So they informed US that they are going to bomb a base in Iraq, US base in Iraq. And they did that. They launched 13 ballistic missiles on January 8th, 2020 in the USS Ain al Assad base in western Iraq and another air base in Erbil. So they claimed that they have taken revenge. Nobody died in that zone, excepting lots of people were injured. Lots of US personnel were injured. This time, however, the base which they attacked is a very big base, Al Udeid base in Qatar. But they had been given information, so there were about 10,000 US personnel in that base. All of them were evacuated quite some time ago. All the planes had flown away, and so it was a completely abandoned airbase when Iran fired the same number of missiles which US fired on the nuclear installations in Iran. So right now, Iran is claiming victory. US claimed victory on the day when they fired into that nuclear installations. We all know nothing has been actually disturbed there because again, the personnel in that base had all been evacuated because quite a few of them are Russians. So this is a joke going on. It's a farce going on, and markets and market men are being squeezed either way. People are becoming bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. If you knew history, then you would have known that these attacks by both US and Iran will subside sooner than later because nobody wants a war of attrition. Iran is well known for a war of attrition. People who may not be alive at that point of time, who were not born at that point of time, between 1980 and 88, there was the Iran-Iraq war, which went on for 8 years, and finally nothing happened after those 8 years. So in a war of attrition, Iran has got always a higher upper end. In a war of attrition in US and Vietnam, after so many years, US had to come back, again losing the battle. Same thing in Afghanistan. So US is not geared for a war of attrition, whereas Iran is geared for a war of attrition, which Trump very well knows because he had done this in the last episode, when he was the president for the first time, January 2028. Now, so yesterday the news came, US has confirmed there is an Iranian missile attack. So the oil prices should have shot up. But instead, what they did was, through the day, if you observe, the confirmation came here. When the oil was about 77, it fell more than 10% to around 65. So the market already knew, this is yesterday morning onwards, the market knew that the war will end. It is not that, it came as a surprise. So people who have understood geopolitics, military maneuvers will know that this war should have ended quickly. And sure enough, the smart money was buying, which means the oil was being shorted while people were expecting $100. I had warned that you should not worry. You should do a BTFD. Be calm is what I said. And we opened much lower. And let's see what happened during the day. yesterday in our markets. So yesterday the oil prices have collapsed, today also. So there will be some short covering and there will be some excesses. But finally, oil prices, as I keep mentioning, will settle between 60 and 65, 60 and 70. 65 is the median point. So yesterday, if you see the commentary, it will say markets did not hold 25,000. So people became bearish. People went berserk at the end because they felt something big will happen at the end. It did happen, but in a manner which was a farcical manner. So broader market outperformed the main indices for second straight session. In fact, our portfolio gained actually, though the Nifty and Bank Nifty came down. So OMC and paint companies recover as oil prices fall. Brent below 77. It had gone to 80 the day before yesterday. So 77, the paint companies recovered. Sensex fell 511 points. Nifty Bank fell close to 194 points. And autos fell because the government has proposed a mandatory ABS for all new two-wheelers. Bajaj Auto was down 2%, 1%. Diagnostic stocks were lower because Amazon is coming into that sector. So Dr. Lal Path Labs were the hit the highest. Idea Forge rose because they got an order from the Defense Ministry. NBCC rose or 2% after a company bagged an order worth 297 crores. Z Entertainment, which we had for a very short time, we sold and it fell down after that, but then now it has taken off. Maybe Z Telefilms can go up higher from here because the promoters bought into it. We don't hold Z Tele, but we will watch it closely. So this is what happened. I had mentioned here. So this opened with a big gap down, close to 300 points. And in the first hour, it bottomed out. And then from there, 225 points, it went up. So anybody who had done BTFZ yesterday and not panicked in the first 1 hour would have made good amount of money. Now from here, selling started because people panicked again, thinking something big will happen. So a lot of shorts would have been built in this last 1.5 hour. And that they will pay today and pay dearly. So yesterday we saw FIs and DIs. FIs sold about 1,874 crores. DIs bought about close to 5,600 crores. Net is 3,718. So there's nothing to feel happy about what DIs did. The reason is simply here. Dixon Technologies block deal was there. The promoter sold 16.7 lakh shares. That's 2.8% of equity for about 2,221. And guess who bought it? Motilal Oswal Mutual Fund bought 1,924 crores. See, this is how these problems are. These mutual funds had, this particular mutual fund had about 35%, they were in cash. So they are splurging on Dixon Technologies from the promoter. It is not anything great because the PE ratio is 113. So that is why I say mutual funds sahi nahi hai. A lot of people oppose me, but any number of what shall I say, examples I can give. This is a prime example. So now they're stuck. Now they may try to jack it up because today may be bullish, but sooner or later these prices I think will not do well. So finally, I will end with this, that people who did not know about history, they repeated it when they short sold in the market in the last half an hour. People who have forgotten the history went and gave money to Motilal Oswal, who has splurged on Dixon Technology, where the promoter has got out significantly. So those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So I would be very, very careful. Anyway, whatever it is, at the end of the day, I think things will be brighter. Today, the GIFT Nifty is talking about close to 170 points. It could be much more than that by the time we close. It depends on what kind of, short positions are there. Also, when the ceasefire is announced, Trump has announced ceasefire, but Iran and Israel have not yet announced, but I'm sure they will announce because both of them don't have the stomach for continuing this any further. So when it gets announced, I think it will get a further uptrend. So BTFD should be there. There could be dips today also, but it has to be BTFD, and nothing but BTFD. So I'm not terribly well, so I'm not trading yesterday and today, maybe tomorrow. But whatever you do today, I hope it is full. Thank you for joining.